Whether you're deeply into politics or just want to understand what's going on, this show offers the depth and perspectives that matter. Tune in every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on WRMN and be part of the conversation that's shaping our community. Let's navigate today's political landscape together on Apolitical Talk Show, only on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Cherie's Senior Showcase is on the air. Cherie's Senior Showcase on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM is an informative and fun show that features events, resources, and news that Elgin seniors can use as a guide to help them get the most out of the golden years. Senior Showcase also features trivia, games, and prizes. So pick up the phone and participate today by giving us a call at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Today's program can also be viewed and commented on by going to WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook. Seniors, don't forget to mark it on your calendar to listen to this show on the third Tuesday of each month at 9:15 a.m. And now, we welcome you to Studio 14 in downtown Elgin as we introduce our host for Senior Showcase, Cherie Aschenbrenner.
It is that time of the month once again for Cherie's Senior Showcase, where we educate you on all important things as it relates to seniors. And Cherie Aschenbrenner is back for another month. She's got a stack of papers here.
I do.
And a great guest with a great prize, so we're going to have a great show.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
How about that?
Can you, again, remember, it seems like Autumn was just here from the Elgin Assessor's Office, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
You know, I get up there and I'm like, wow, it's already been a month.
Every
I don't know.
month takes about a week.
I know.
It seems like.
Well, it is true.
Yeah.
They say time flies as you get older.
Yep. It can stop. It can stop now.
Okay, I do have a guest today, but as you know, I always got a couple things to mention. I just want to say, if you want to be on my email alert email list, I'm happy to have you. I went and spoke to some new residents at Del Webb Edgewater last Thursday. And there's about 45 of them that came, and so I got about 10, 15 more new names, so I'm getting up to about 1840 now.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nice talking to them. They were newbies. So we was there over an hour chatting.
1840 on your list now, so
yeah.
You'll hit 2,000 sometime next
Hopefully,
year.
I hope so. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, well, and I stopped over there right after the movie day, which was not very well attended. I think it was the movie. Yeah, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, I don't know. But there wasn't a lot of choice because it's Halloween month and everything. That's all the scary stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, there wasn't. So hopefully December, they'll have a better choice.
Probably a Christmas choice.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Probably be better than horror.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. Okay, so get on my list if you want. I send out senior community events and scam alerts, talk about triad events, anything that a senior needs to know. Again, just call me at 847-289-2626, and I'll add you. Next month, my show, I'm going to have Detective Chad Benavides from Elgin Police come on because he's in that the CCSU unit, the Collaborative Crisis Special Unit.
Right.
And he is now going to work with the seniors on follow-ups on some things. So him and I are going to start working together, so I want to introduce him. And then also, I think Sergeant Rick Demir will come along as well because he's the sergeant of that unit.
Yeah,
So
and all
that'd
the
be
seniors
fun.
love Sergeant Demir anyway.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to kid him because I think he's getting close, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
I'll kid him. And our Elgin Area Memory Cafe hit an all-time high this month. We had 60, and I'm
No
6-0.
kidding.
6-0. I didn't think we could beat 56, but we did. So we had 60.
What's making it continue to grow? Just more
I think
people.
word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more people realizing that they have a situation that this is a great group to.
Yep. And then even when their loved one maybe passes or even goes into a memory care, they still come for the, just the friendships that they've made there. And I think, Glenn and I.
Of course. the word is out. Cherie and Glenn are amazing hosts.
Yes, we love them. It's such a nice hour and a half with them. And we always try to have a nice speaker for them. We got some food now that we're trying to work with different companies to cater in, like a little box lunch or box dinner, whatever now, because we're at the South Elgin Public Works building. So
yeah.
We're not in a restaurant.
You planning on staying there?
I think so for a while. That we may move over to their police department once it's built. Somebody said, or I think it was South Elgin, Kim Washer said they got a nice big room that they're going to make inside that new police department. So maybe there. I don't know. We'll see. I like the parking where we're at that Public Works building, 1000 Bowes Road. Anyway, we're there on the second Tuesday of every month, 4 to 5:30, and we had a really nice box lunch brought in from Joseph's Deli in Geneva, and it was brought in and paid for by Honoring Aging. So it was nice. Yep, and we got a nice speaker coming next month. We got somebody coming from Ascension and Alexian Brothers. She wants to talk about, she works for like a doctor who's in the neuroscience department. Yeah. So we're going to have her talk, and then we're going to do, we're going to have a caregiver kit. So come check that out. Okay. I think I'm going to save some of the rest of this afterwards if we have time. But one other thing, Minnie down at Senior Services is having a Halloween party on October 23rd. And tomorrow is the last day to RSVP. So if you want to go to their Halloween party over at 205 Fulton Street, a spooky lunch will be served.
That's a week from tomorrow.
And they're going to have best in Halloween costume.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So that's always a fun one.
Make sure you register by tomorrow by calling Senior Services, right?
847-741-0404.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you want to call us today and ask any questions, you can do that, right?
Yeah, I would love it, especially with my guest today.
Yeah.
So today I have Nick Dunning with me, and I met Nick probably 10 years ago. Him and I were on the Kane County Hoarding Task Force together when I was at the Elgin Police Department. And so Nick, at that time, was working for Grandview Homes. I think everybody's heard of that. You see a lot of the commercials on TV, which was nice when you're on the Hoarding Task Force and you have an option of, you know, what do you do with your home if you're wanting to move or you need to get out and it's hoarded up or it just needs so much work. What do? You know, maybe there's an option, and one of it is sell it as is. So that's why, and I had never heard of that 10 years ago. I mean, I was fascinated. I had him talk at Triad too a couple times for us. So anyway, Nick Dunning is now not with Grandview Homes, but he's with King Homes. So I'm going to let him say, how did you make that transition and how did King Homes from Grandview?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me.
Okay, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Talk in there. Okay.
So, sorry. The transition from Grandview Homes to King Homes was really out of a partnership that we have with Mom's House. Typically, you know, when people are dealing with homes, the seniors, it usually ends up being Mom's house at the end of the day. Mom runs the house. I mean, you know, Dad may live there, but his stuff is there, but it's Mom's house. But Mom's House is a nationwide platform. And myself, for the Chicagoland area, there are people nationwide that do the same thing. We buy homes as is, without repairs, you know, paying all the closing costs, transfer stamps, all that stuff. But really, that transition is the difference, is getting from where you are today to where you need to go. And what does that look like?
Right.
And we wanted to have a national platform to do that. So not just the Chicago area, which I cover, but if someone's in California, they're in Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Montana, we have representation there. Wow. But to do that, there's actually a certification to do that. So I had to go through a training process with Mom's House to be a certified senior transition specialist.
Okay.
We primarily focus on with seniors.
So most of your clients, almost 100%, are senior citizens.
At this time, we are 100%.
100% seniors. Yeah. Okay.
And the reason is that's where a lot of the population is right now.
Right.
You know, we are not the alternative if you just want to save money with your real estate agent.
Right.
You know, your house is perfect. It's fantastic. We're not your option. We really, we're trying to help people that are in a situation that needs a little extra care. Mm-hmm. And it's anything from, I need to pack up the stuff. You look around your house and say, well, I've got a lot of stuff. I've got 20, 30, 40,
We talked about
50
this
years
our fire. I said, I've been in my house for 31 years. And you look around and go, if I feel like I want to move, I think, where do you even start? Look at the basement, and then you got to go to the garage, and then you got the 3-bedroom. You just look at, where do you start?
Yep.
Where do you start? Do you get boxes first, or do you try to get rid of stuff? And how do you get rid of stuff? Is it estate sales? Nobody wants your stuff. We talked about that too. Your kids don't want your couch. They don't want your china. They don't want your your collectibles. They don't want it, and you think it's so valuable, but nobody wants it.
Well, it's overwhelming, right?
It is.
I mean, that's the problem. Is you look around your house, you say, "What do I do with all this stuff?" Family doesn't want it.
Right.
A lot of family members are out of state. How are they going to
Get it there.
transport a couch or that sort of thing? We have a statement that we say pretty exclusively for Mom's House is that there are 3 things that are of value to everyone, and it's cash, gold, and guns. Right? So, because those are all valuable. Those are all very readily available and can be liquidated.
Yeah.
And everything else is subject to what someone wants. And we try to donate whatever we can. And again, we're buying it as is. So we'll buy it with all this stuff. We want everyone to take the things that they want to take with them, and then everything else we try to donate. And because there are some things that are donatable, but a lot of it just isn't. But that's the whole idea of the transition: is take the things you want. Move on your schedule, right? So if you're ready to move in 30 days, great. If you're ready to move in 2 weeks, if you're ready to move in 2 months, maybe that's an extended timeline to do that, because where you are today is the topic of taking the identity is saying, I need to identify that I'm moving.
Right.
Then you got to decide where you're going to go, and then you got to decide how am I going to get there.
Right.
So you've got those 3 stages, right? And you have to go through those 3 stages because
and if you are downsizing from a house that you've been in for 30, 50 years, yes, it's going to be tough because you can't take it all.
Sure.
And you're just like, well, what if I need this, or what if I, you should see in my garage, my husband, what do you got that piece of wood over there for? Or what is that pipe? I don't know. I might need that. I'm like, my God. It's like,
as soon as I throw it away, I'm going to have to go buy a piece of wood.
Right. Or you might need 2.
God, I said, Terry, you got to start letting go of some of this stuff too. I mean, but I do know we have seen massive hoarded houses. Oh, yes. Mine is not like that. But again, it's hard to let go of some things because it did, like you said, it means something to you.
Correct.
But you can't, if you're going to go into an apartment, you're going to go into independent living, which is just an apartment in a senior building. Right. Or if you're going into assisted living, or even if worse comes to worse, you have to go into a nursing home because of some health issue or something. There you sit with that house.
Right.
And your kids are out of state, or they're like, I'm not coming in here and getting rid of all this.
That's absolutely true.
But then you said you could have, an estate sale. Well, you could, but there's a percentage that they take, and they got to come in, and you still got to figure out how are you going to box all this, what you are taking.
Right.
And decide.
And that's some additional services that we offer also.
Yeah.
Is being able to help that transition of saying, we want to pack up these items.
Yeah.
We want to move them to there. We've got, a couch, a bed, certain things that can be going to wherever they're going. And then doing it on that timeline that works for them, right?
Yeah.
The idea is, a regular realtor transaction or a real estate agent, you've got showings, nights, weekends, holidays. They want you to clean up the place.
And get out of your own house.
Yeah, you can't be there, right?
They
don't want you showing you. And everybody's heard the horror stories of bad things happening when people are walking around the houses, agents and stuff. We want to see the house once.
But like you said, if you're a realtor, you have to have it cleaned up.
Correct.
They want it, it's going to look better to show.
The term is broom clean,
Yeah, broom clean. And then you also got to be careful and can't move it because you never know when a showing is coming.
Well, and if you've got pets, that's another one.
Yeah.
People, you've got medicines that you have, you got to put them away. I mean, there's valuables. I mean, there's things that, this is the complete opposite of that.
Right.
We will make you an offer. We'll make you an offer sight unseen if you want. You talk to us about it.
Wow.
It'll be subject to seeing it, of course, at some point. But we want to do the walkthrough once, make you the offer, work through it, give it to your attorney, let your attorney review it. We always want to have some, and any other advocate that you have for that, that works for you or benefits, that has your best interest in mind. And if it works, great. If not, that's okay.
It's an option.
It's an option. It's free of charge. We don't charge anybody anything. We don't hold anybody's feet to the fire about it. Nobody's going to be bothering anyone. Make an offer, you like it, we're happy to help. But we want you to be 100% about it too. If you're not 100% or your attorney, whatever else, you have other options, explore them. But we'd love to be one option. If we're happy to, if it works, we're happy to help.
So if you're a senior and you're like, I'm going to go into an independent apartment now, so I can take my bed and I'm going to take this couch and I'm going to take some dishes. You will help with those items that they want to move. All right.
Correct.
And then you just leave everything else behind.
Correct.
and then you dispose of it.
We're not doing inspections. We're not bringing appraisers over there or anything like that. It's literally as it sits, as is.
Yeah,
No
'cause
repairs.
Some
none of
houses that
stuff.
we did see when we were on the Kane County Hoarding Task Force, there was a few that needed kind of a lot of work. They had roof repairs and
Structural
gutters,
issues,
and there was a hole in the roof, and they had a raccoon. I remember some of those cases, and yeah, and then the poor seniors there, and they're like, I don't know how to do this.
Right. And they were still living there.
I know, and then you have to like try to find contractors, and then will they show up?
Well, it's expensive.
And expensive.
It's expensive. I mean, everything's expensive these days, right? I
Right.
mean, the cost of everything's gone up. But,
Yeah.
but like you said, having people show up, pay for it. Am I paying too much?
Yeah.
How long is this going to take? Do you want to live a construction zone while this is being done? Because most people don't have another place to go while this is happening. So, this is an option to make it simple, easy, as stress-free as possible, as painless as possible. There's a little bit of a trade-off in the offer. I mean, we're not
Right.
lowballing people. I mean, that's a term that gets
And
thrown
that's
around
the
a
question I
lot.
was going to ask, because people are going to think that. What are you going to do? You're just really going to lowball me, and I need to make something out of this house because I got to go somewhere else.
Right.
But then, I mean, if you have, what do you do with some of the? Okay, let's say they have china.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you sell it somewhere? You don't sell it.
No. We try to donate whatever we can.
Okay.
Aside from that, we will dispose of it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I mean, all these things, china, antiques, all the things that everyone really has a lot of sentimental value to and such. If the family doesn't want it,
Yeah.
there's really not a market for it. I mean, we've gone to the estate sales and the auction places and such, and they'll tell you they can load up a stock room, a warehouse full of this stuff because nobody wants it.
Right.
Unfortunately, I mean, it's
Right.
sad.
It is.
It really is. But at the same time,
it's back in the day when that stuff was more sentimental, and I think that's
Sure.
kind of gone a wayside in a way.
Yeah.
People just don't want china.
well, the younger generation. They love IKEA.
You're right.
They really do. My kids, same thing. I mean, they want something new. I don't know how they put it together, but they love it. And they find a way.
Well, like you said, but it's a certain knack or a certain person that's looking for the antique dresser, that they want to restore. I mean, yeah, but it's a lot of work. Are you going? Let's say you're 80 years old. Are you going to deal with it? No, probably not. And if you don't have kids that are nearby, or they're out of state, or they're busy, or they're working, or grandkids,
Yeah.
it's an option.
We see it every day.
It's an option.
But then again, this is the whole concept of this was trying to make it simple, easy, and back to your question about the offer. We make a fair offer, and it's
Okay.
based on market value and the condition of the home.
Okay.
And each situation is different because every house is different, and a lot of it's two different things. One's the house, and one's the circumstance. In most cases, it's the circumstance that drives what the motivation is, right?
Okay, right.
And not necessarily the house.
Right.
So sometimes it's the timing that needs to go faster than it does the house itself. Sometimes the house is just the main motivator because it's really that bad a shape.
Right.
Especially with the hoarding or any type of situation. Structural issues, roofs conditions, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
because once you clean it out, and we'll get into that, but once you clean it out, I mean, then you have to resell it.
Correct.
So you got to deal with all the code issues
Oh, yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
all the
We
structural
do. Oh,
issues
yeah.
and roofs and whatever has to all be
Yeah.
replaced. Yeah, I mean, you have to think about that too, because even if you did sell it with a realtor,
Correct.
I mean, you're going to have to do something to it because it's never going to pass inspection.
Right. And that's typically the issue that happens is if you try to sell a house as is,
Mm-hmm.
you're ending up back at the same type of person as a real estate investor that we are.
Right.
The difference is that we are not doing it under the same auspice as someone else would by lowballing them, right?
And then they're gone.
then
You're
they're gone.
staying because you are a senior
transitions.
transition specialist, so you're going to stay in the game with the senior and help them.
Correct. And quite frankly, most of our business is by referrals. I mean, obviously, we've known each other for
Right.
a long time. I've done a lot of business with a lot of the folks from the Hoarding Task Force over the years, and we're out there. I mean, we are in the senior realm, as we call it, for that very reason. Is we're not putting commercials on Channel 7 or those
Right.
the TV stations because that's not our main market. Our main market is to help seniors in need that want to do this as a alternative to the real estate agent transaction.
Exactly.
And we've been very successful with it. It's gone great, and the people that we help are grateful for the service we provide, because it is a seamless, easy transaction. Not from their side, because
Right.
you still, where am I going? How's this going to work? And
And the stress.
And the house.
And the
right?
stress.
And 50 years worth of stuff. You know what I mean? And the emotional side of that, and we're sensitive to that. And again, a lot of that we always talked about at the Hoarding Task Force was the emotional side of it is so much larger than most people realize. A lot of this, the sellers themselves, the seniors themselves don't realize how much of a transition it is. And that's a lot of the training that we received through Mom's House was that's first and foremost. The house is secondary, is really making sure that seniors are well represented, that they're comfortable, and that this is something that benefits them. And if it doesn't, then we shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
Really.
Let me know on time or any
We're still
comments.
good for about 3 minutes.
Okay.
We have a couple comments on
Okay.
YouTube, just people saying hi this morning to us on YouTube, like trusty Pat Hudgens says, Cherie
Pat.
is the best.
Cherie is the best.
Yes.
So glad she is here in Elgin with us, says trusty Pat this morning.
Okay. Thanks, Pat.
We have Kathy Bilski. She always checks in every month.
Yes, she does.
And she says, good morning, Cherie, Mark, and
Kathy.
Nick.
Morning.
Let's see. Pat says, Cherie, correct on the hand-me-downs. I have a small cherry table my great-grandfather made in the 1800s.
Wow.
I may get my son to take it.
Yeah, please.
When I asked him, he was on the fence about it. Yeah, that's too bad. You're so
Yeah.
proud of these things, and no one wants
yeah.
it.
I know.
Maybe tape a 20 to it or something.
Yeah, there you go, Pat. Add 20 bucks.
Oh, I know.
And wonderful Wilma Cash checks in, says, hi, Marky B, Cherie, and guests.
Hi,
And
Wilma.
Our first shift friends have a blessed day this Tuesday and every day.
Good morning.
So those are the people saying hi on YouTube so far.
It is hard too because I you know how you kind of go. Well, you like to go to flea markets and some of the, and
I
you
do.
look at some of this stuff. I'm like, oh, I do not need this. You know, because it's cute. I think I want it. I don't need it. I just don't need it at this point in my life.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just no. Because I keep thinking down the road. Well, if you ever move out of this house, you know, where am I gonna? I don't want any more stuff.
But I've gone to estate sales and auctions, and I've been like, God, that is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then Lorena's like, no.
Right. No, I've been banned. I've been banned from bringing anything home. You know how many sets of tools I have now? I've been banned. I will be sleeping on the couch if I bring anything else home. Honestly, I learned that early in this venture, this career.
It's so sad that people value IKEA, though, more than great furniture that people have taken such pride in and spent lots of money on back at the time.
I just have to tell you, I don't know if you have a minute, but I bought my dining room table with 6 chairs and my little china cabinet with my dishes in it at Leith Furniture, downtown Elgin, 1986.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's when I bought it
Wow.
and still have it.
Nice.
And it's perfect. It's in perfect
Well made,
condition.
yeah.
Yes.
Well made.
So it's amazing. You know, you'll never get that again.
And you
That
like
kind of
it.
quality. I do like it.
You like it.
Yeah.
But if you had someone to pass it down to, they'd be like,
I don't want
think
that.
so.
No. Okay. Well, I'll let you if you needed to
Yeah.
take a break.
We got about a minute still.
Oh, wait,
so,
so okay.
Yeah.
I know how it cuts you right off. So
It
I don't
does.
want to get cut off.
Yeah, we don't want to get caught up.
Yeah. It's 8:28, and the number is 847-931-1410. If you want to join us in the second half hour of the show, we're going to do Trivia 2 in the next half hour. So,
Yeah, you brought a nice little basket. A lot of good stuff in there. We'll
yeah, you want to talk about what's in the basket real
Sure.
fast?
It's a Broadway basket, chocolate gift basket. It is kosher certified, if that's necessary. Cookies, pretzels, popcorn, candy, and then there is a very nice patina metal tin that it's in that could be reused after you eat all the goodies.
And you
So
said you give that same thing to your parents?
I do. This is the same one that I send to my parents for their anniversary every year, and they love it, which was actually yesterday,
Oh, boy.
surprisingly. So
Okay.
And there's so much stuff in that basket that plastic is tightly wrapped around it. You could easily pop it with anything because there's so much stuff
How
in
do
it.
you it might be hold it up, then they can
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sorry.
There
it
you go.
is.
See,
There we
now
go.
there it is. That's it.
pretty nice.
Yeah.
Great for you, or maybe you could even regift it.
There you go.
Yeah, Christmas is coming.
That's right. That's right. So stay tuned for the next half hour, and we're joined by our great guest today, and we're going to have Cherie Aschenbrenner coming back for more as well. Keep it right here on WRMN. We're going to check the bottom of the hour news here in just a moment, and then we'll back with more of Cherie Senior Showcase.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan. Brought to you by Bank of America Merrill Investments. The Naperville City Council meets tonight at 7 p.m. Those interested in participating must register to speak by 6:30 p.m. To find the full agenda and access the speaker sign-up form, you can head to the City of Naperville website. In Sugar Grove, a tragic hit-and-run incident has resulted in the death of a 69-year-old woman. The accident unfolded Saturday night just before 10:30 p.m. in the 1900 block of Fays Lane. Authorities discovering the victim lying in the streets, and she was later pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. The Sugar Grove Police Department seeking the driver involved in this fatal crash. Illinois archery deer season in full swing, running from October 1st through January 19th. Hunters in counties with no firearm season, such as Cook and Lake County, can hunt throughout the entire period. Meanwhile, restrictions apply in regions like Champaign and Macon, where only antlered deer can be taken until the end of October. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. NHL tonight, the Blackhawks continue their road trip. It's a matchup with the Calgary Flames. Chicago coming off Saturday's 5-2 win at Edmonton. Tonight's game, the last of 4 straight on the road to start the season. The Blackhawks open up the home half of the schedule this Thursday night. It's a 7:30 puck drop at United Center against the San Jose Sharks. The Bears feeling confident after a 35-16 win over Jacksonville Sunday in London. It was the 3rd consecutive win for the Bears. They're 4-2 overall. Chicago heads into the bye week. They return to action on the road in the nation's capital against the Commanders. The week after, they head to Arizona, then return home November the 10th against the Patriots. NBA preseason action Monday, the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Chicago Bulls 111-107.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its head-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Welcome back. It is Cherie Senior Showcase on this beautiful day here in downtown Elgin. And welcome back to the show. We got more great information to share. Nick Denning is here. We're talking about selling your house as is and other things about that could help with seniors. Right, Cherie?
Yep. So, Nick, all right, I'm going to do it. All right, we're going to call you now. You decided we need help. We're going to downsize or we're moving or whatever. My family wants me closer. They want me to move to California. So I don't know. I can't do this. I'm 80. I can't list, like you said, couches and chairs, and I just can't. So I want to sell it as is and just take what I need and go. What do? We
Great.
call you. We call King Homes. What's your
Correct.
number?
630-699-0677.
Okay, so we call Nick. You answer the phone, and then what do you say? Where is it? And
We're going to talk about the house.
okay,
Where is it? How many bedrooms? How many baths?
Yep.
2-story, single-family ranch. What condos, townhome, whatever it
Okay.
is. But we're going to talk about the condition. We're going to
Okay.
talk about the layout, the design. But we're also really going to dig deep into what do you need? Like,
Okay.
where are you going? You talked about California. What are you going to do with the stuff? What's the timeline? Does this need to happen in 2 weeks? Is it happening in 2 months? Is it undecided? Is it just undetermined? All that information gathered, and then the easiest way to do it is just come out and take a look at it. So
Right.
that way we can kind of validate
I was going to
everything
say
we talked about.
Yeah, because then you can say, "Let me show you," and then
Right,
this and
right.
this and
Show
this
me the
needs to be
house.
done, and
Right.
this is falling apart over here. But
Correct.
and then go room to room.
Yes. So the whole concept of showing up and getting there is obviously, so you see who I am, you meet
Yeah.
me, you get a flyer, you get a business card, so you know who's showing up. But walk me through the house. Let's talk about the things. Let's validate all the things that we talked about over the phone. Then I can take that information and run our business model, run our comparables, all the things that are written, and all the work that needs to be done. We give you an offer. We give you an offer in writing.
Okay.
And the reason for in writing is that's a real contract. And the contract is everything we talked about. It's as is. We pay all the closing costs, transfer stamps. There's no inspections. There's no appraisals. But then you have that in writing in your hand to give to your attorney, to share with your family members, your trusted advisors, whomever you need to discuss it with, and then make that decision of whether this is the best thing for you or not. If it's not, no problem.
Yeah.
If it's not now, it's no problem. You can always come back to us later. That's not a
Okay.
big deal. But if it's a yes, then we agree to it, or maybe the date needs to be a couple more weeks later, maybe it needs a month later, or maybe it's sooner. But it's really up to you. I mean, it's up to the seller to decide
And
whether
it's
this
a
is
cash
for them.
deal.
It's a cash deal.
Cash.
Correct.
Okay.
2 duffel bags in a trunk. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice. You're off to the races.
We always work with title companies. Obviously, it works like a regular transaction from a mechanical standpoint.
Okay.
That's why you have an attorney. We have an attorney. You have an attorney. We primarily use Chicago Title, but we depend on what title company is available that we need for that area. But it's a normal transaction. The other thing too, to make it simple, is that we can do remote closings if need be. So if someone does move to California and they need to do that closing, they can do it remotely, or you could give power of attorney to your attorney. They could close for you. Funds get wired from the title company to whatever bank account you want. So you don't even have to be in the state. A lot of people do move before the closing's done. And, then their money just follows them wherever they want to.
And then you say, all right, well, I need my bed, and I need this couch, and I need this dresser, and I need some dishes. You help them pack that?
Correct. We have staff that will help you pack up the items you want and then get them moved to where you're going locally. If it's California, it's a little bit harder logistically to make that happen.
Right.
But locally, we can pack and move to
And
whether
that's
you're going
a
to.
separate price, right? Or is that not, or is that included in the sale price that you're going to give them?
It depends on how much stuff you have.
Okay. Okay.
We've seen some big houses. Sometimes, we do need to call in reinforcements
Okay.
To do it. But in most cases, especially when you're downsizing to, like you said, CCRC or, one of the assisted living, we can take mostly in one truck and get it there.
Right,
It's pretty easy. So, yeah. And that's included.
So it's included. Okay, that's good to know. And so then, but you mark it, you the senior get to mark what you want and say this is.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. You tell us what you're going to take.
Get all
and
your
which.
papers and your important
Correct.
papers and your jewelry and what you
Correct.
need. Okay.
And then leave the rest of it to us. So
Okay.
there's no organizing, there's no cleaning, there's no repairs, you don't have to worry about anything. The only thing we really can't deal with is something that has a title or a pulse. So no cars, no kids, no pets.
Okay.
No extended family members.
Okay. The cars, no, right? I can see that.
Yeah, because cars have a title, or, boats, those sort of thing. And then, of course, you need to take your pets with you.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm selling my dog.
Can you take my dog? Oh.
Well,
You take
again,
my dog.
with the
Yeah.
hoarding task force,
Yes.
we ran into
Yes,
this.
we did run into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'd have to work with the Kane County
Yep.
Animal Control or the local police. Yeah. And their animal controls. Yeah, it was sad. Those were the days,
Yeah,
Nick.
yeah.
Those were
Well,
the
it's
days.
still going on.
I know.
We still see it. We still see it, unfortunately. But
I know.
at the same time, a lot of it is education, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
being able to provide options. Again, that's what we do. But we also do work with local municipalities, with code enforcement,
Okay.
as well as a lot of the charities that are out there. So if someone does have a pet that they need to, they don't not sure what to do with,
Right.
we'll try to help them.
Help them with some resources.
Yeah, to help them with some resources. I mean, we just personally, I just adopted a senior pet, a senior dog. He was in pretty bad shape, and got him back up to health, and now he's doing great. And they.
Oh, he adopted
That's
a
nice, yeah.
senior pet.
He's a
I
12-year-old.
love
He's a little mutt,
I love
little
it.
fuzzball, but he's cute. He's fun. But
And then the other thing is then what some of the stuff that just has to be junked. You bring out the dumpsters and you're talking like an old mattress. I mean, what do you do with all that stuff?
most of it has to go in the dumpster.
Okay, so
Most of it
you
has to-
hire that, you get the dumpsters out and clean it out.
Yeah, a lot of the charities don't have the ability to warehouse a lot of this stuff, and the stuff that they do, they can't take a chance on any type of contamination because they can
Right.
cross-contaminate. So mattresses, cloth couches, chairs,
They don't
leather or
want that.
vinyl that's got cracks in it or sort of thing, they just don't. They won't.
They won't take it.
Yeah,
No.
it's just they had an incident years ago and it became a problem, and so a lot of the local charities, it's all about timing because if you've got a church or some of these, they just don't have the warehouse
No,
to
they
keep some of
don't.
this stuff.
They don't.
So if someone needs it and they need it right at that time, it's great. We can hand it off to them, but we don't have the ability to warehouse it. either.
Right,
So
right.
a lot of
Storage,
it, unfortunately,
no.
just has to go.
Yep,
But the whole idea is that somebody has to deal with it.
right.
So if you're not dealing with it, then we deal with it on your behalf so you don't have to. And again, that's whole part of the service of getting you to where you need to go and not having the stress of what do I do with this stuff.
I know, because sometimes, you have no idea what would happen if you're older or you broke a hip and then you got to go to rehab and you're just never going to get back home, or you're going to have somebody with you, to help. That people are like, yeah, I can't do this house. I can't mow my lawn anymore. I can't rake. I can't just even do just the clean, go out and trim my bushes. I can't do any of this anymore.
Yeah. A lot of it, we call it a dramatic medical intervention. Like something happens.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, a fall, a hip, a diagnosis, something happens, and people don't plan for this.
No.
And they're in the hospital and they get told, you're not going home again.
Right.
And you got to sell your house and you need the money to do it. And this happens pretty fast, right? It needs to happen pretty fast. And we deal with a lot of that. And, we know what that process looks like, and we can help them get through that process and as painlessly as possible. Again, because they already have the medical piece they're working on.
Yeah.
This is the piece we're going to try to make as easy as possible so they can settle in and be where they're going to land, for duration.
Yeah, I do. I just, like you said, if nothing else, doing in this job makes you not right now, you're going home and saying, all right, I got to get some more stuff thrown out because
yeah.
I am not dealing with this. I even look under on my basement stairs. We have all of our Christmas stuff. And one year I said, I keep dragging it out. I don't put it up because I want to do less and less because it's only, 30 days you decorate, so yeah. I took a whole bunch of that to the Goodwill that I didn't use anymore. It's just, I don't. Why? Because right now, physically, I'm able to do it.
Right.
But if I wait, another 10, 15, 20 years, am I going to be able to carry all that stuff up the stairs and from the no.
And no matter how much you don't want to bring new things to your home, you usually acquire new things one way or another anyway.
Christmas presents and birthday presents,
Yeah.
right? Just yeah.
And every winter comes and goes. When you say in the fall, this winter on a snowy day, I'm going to get under the house and finally get rid of some of that stuff. This weekend, I'm going to get in the shed and get rid of all this stuff I don't need. Then another year passes by and that stuff still didn't happen.
Correct.
Same with clothes. I carry up my winter clothes now and I put put them down over the weekend. I'm like, I never even wore this. I didn't wear this. Why am I carrying it downstairs again? So I can carry it back up?
Yeah.
I didn't wear it.
Right.
I need to downsize that. And my shoes. I still got a lot of stuff with high heels, and I'm like, I'm not wearing them anymore. I'm not. I don't dress up like that. I used. So yeah, I gotta get on it.
We find that a lot of family members leave things in their parents' homes or aunts or uncles, that sort of thing, kids, distant relatives, and when we get to it, we say, well, what about this stuff? And they're like, well, I don't know. That's my kids. Well, where are your kids? Oh, they left that here 30 years ago.
Yeah.
They live in California now.
It's my kids.
We're going to assume you probably don't want it, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes they do.
Well, yeah, when you think about it, Terry, my husband has like a lot of his papers from kindergarten. First grade, he's got in a box down there. It's like, well, what are you going to do with that? Yeah, but when is the last time you looked at it?
When there you go. When's the last time you wore that coat? When's the last time
40 years ago? I mean,
and when's that day going to come and you say, hey, let's look at my old box that's
from kindergarten.
Yeah. And grade school, the pictures I drew and all.
Yeah.
And the ashtray you made out of clay and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, no.
That's one thing that I will bring up. There are some keepsakes that sometimes are buried in the house somewhere. And in the course of it, because sometimes the timeline is pretty truncated getting this stuff done, we will look for certain things. And that brought up a thing of years ago, we had one that they were looking for German Christmas ornaments that had been brought over from Germany. And they were, great-grandparents, and they couldn't find them. So I told my guys when they're doing the clean out, look for this box.
That is a question.
And
so
it was,
you are digging through everything.
We were digging through it. It was, of course, it's the last box in the attic under the eaves, and we found it, and we brought it to them. And this lady was very, very grateful. I mean, it was her great grandparents' heirlooms, and it wasn't a big box, and they were very beautiful things. And I don't think they were really worth anything other than the sentimental value. But that's the type of thing. If there's something you're looking for, we will dig to try to find it because we want you to have it. It's yours.
Right. Because I was going to say, do you normally go through everything, or do you just, when you're doing the clean out, you just take the box, dumpster, box, dumpster? You don't open everything.
We don't try to.
Okay.
I mean, unless we're looking for something. I mean, there's something specific. We had one here in Elgin just recently where we're looking for some old World War II bayonets that had been handed down. And they were never found. And we think that the gentleman that had them had actually already moved them or disposed of them somewhere because the son said, well, I think they're there. We never found them. And we did go through everything, though. I mean, every single thing. Couldn't find it.
Wow.
So sometimes they're there, but they're not there. They were there at some point. But yeah, especially in the big cleanouts. I mean,
every house is different. And every situation is different.
That show Hoarders exists because there are houses like that. You know that.
Yes. Yeah, I was in one that was, I remember it was
does something come to mind?
Twin sisters, and they were, it was up to the ceiling. To the ceiling. You'd open the door, ceiling. I had never seen anything like that in my life. In person.
Yeah, it happens.
TV,
it happens.
Wow. Okay, so you know what? We're going to stop right now real quick here, and we're going to try to give away this gift basket. I'm going to put it here again.
Over here, I'm get a look.
There you go. Let's see what the question Mark is coming up with.
I was looking for a question that had something to do with Elgin houses.
Okay.
Since we're talking about houses today. And so I found something. It's pretty simple. It's guessable. Well, I guess they're all guessable since they're A, B, C, and D. The number to call is 847-931-1410 if you want to take a chance at winning this nice loaded down gift basket today that you can see on YouTube. And so here's the question. In what year were all Elgin houses assigned street numbers? Was it A, 1867, B, 1884, C, 1895, or D, 1907? Pretty random numbers there. So again, it's what year were all Elgin houses assigned street numbers? 1867, 84, 1895, or 1907? And the lines are loaded down.
Okay.
Interesting.
Let's see.
Now I want to know.
Yeah, now we want to know.
847-931-1410. We got Mary Johnson on line 1, Raging Richards on line 2. We got Walter McBride on line 3, and Hurricane Honeycutt's on line 4.
Okay.
Let's take a shot at this. I've rolled a 5, of course, which means I got to do it again. I need a 4. That's good. That means Hurricane Honeycutt's going to get the first shot at this one today. Good morning, Donna.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You're first, woman.
I always want to be last.
Yeah.
Especially in this game.
Yeah.
You know what? Since I'm the last, I'm going to go with D.
D, 1907?
Yeah.
1907 says Donna Honeycutt. Survey says.
Oh, Donna.
Oh, man.
Well, thanks for trying, Donna.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right, Donna goes down, so we have 3 others on the line right now. And I rolled a 2, which is Raging Richard.
Hey.
He gets a shot at it now. Hey, Richard.
Hey, how you doing, everyone?
Hi.
Hi, good morning.
How you doing, buddy?
Was one of them 1884? Did I hear that?
1884 was one of them, yes.
I'll pick that one.
1884, says Raging Richard's survey says... He is correct.
All right.
Wow, that's a good guess.
Richard's had a lot of success on this show.
Yes, he has.
We're going to eliminate him from contention.
You know I'm smart. I will see the word I usually
Did
say.
he won last month, right? Did you win
might
last
have.
month? No.
Yeah, I won the blood pressure thing.
Oh, that would be a couple months ago.
That was a couple months
Yeah,
ago? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a couple of months ago. Okay,
Yeah.
well, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So was that a wild...
I see.
Was that a wild guess, Richard? Probably was, right?
Well, 1884 and still not out the door. You know, that's why I went with that.
Okay. What about 1895? and still alive.
Heaven, I'm still not in heaven.
84 out the door.
All right. Well, you're correct, Richard. Congratulations.
Thank you. I will see you at some time.
Okay. We'll put the
It'll be here for you.
Yep. All right. Take care.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Raging Richard
Congratulations.
Right.
wins this week, this month.
Okay.
Takes home the big basket.
Yeah.
1884.
Yeah.
Who knew that? I wouldn't know that.
No, that's pretty much a wild guess. So we got about 7 minutes left in the show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's finish out whatever you got.
All right.
About too. So give us like maybe got any kind of a story of a house that you cleaned out that was a shocker, or I mean, how long you been doing this?
I've been doing this for 15 years now.
15 years. It was how many with Grandview?
I was 8 years with Grandview.
Okay, and now how many with 7 with King? You started your own business.
I was actually doing it before Grandview.
Oh,
and
okay.
And went to Grandview to help them get to where they are, and then started this. So
Started this one.
so a
Okay.
combination of- I've been doing this a long. I've been doing real estate for 30 years.
Okay.
So
All right.
I've seen a thing or two.
Yeah. So tell us, does something stick out in your mind, like I don't know, a happy success story or something that was just odd?
Yeah, we'll go back. We've talked about a lot of the stuff that people always gather and accumulate. So we had a place up on the North Shore. Lady had passed, and her nephew had inherited it. And it was a pretty nice house. Had a lot of stuff in it, a lot of antiques, a lot of very high-end antiques. So, and again, same situation. Nobody wants it. He said, I just want the money from the house. How quickly can I close? I don't care about this stuff. So my superintendent, my construction manager, went next door and knocked on the door and said, hey, did you know this gal? And she said, yeah, she was my best friend. She said, well, would you want any of her antiques? She goes, no. She goes, I got a house full of stuff I need to get rid of. She goes, I don't want any more stuff here. I'm moving next month too, so whatever. So they went across the street and they knocked on the neighbors across the street and said the same thing. We got all these antiques, whatever. And they said, actually, we have twins that are going to college this weekend. Do you have any beds, mattresses, maybe end tables, anything? So walk them through, and they kind of went and picked through what they wanted. And we marched it across the street and put it in their garage. And that was on a Friday. So my guys came up on Saturday to keep doing some clean out. Well, they pulled the U-Haul up and watched them load all that stuff in the U-Haul and took the kids to college with all the furniture that they'd just taken. So there are some instances where we can give away stuff. We have had neighbors come over and say, hey,
what's going on over here?
Can I have that?
Yeah.
I would like that. And we're happy to give it to them. And in some cases, we've taken exercise furniture and marched it across the street and put it in their house. My guys are really good on trying to help because they don't want to see this stuff go in the dumpster if they don't have it.
Right.
The last thing we want to do is add to the garbage problem in the world that we have. But
you ever work with veterans companies? We have that Operation Sweet Life up in Dundee, and they collect things for veterans. So I mean I just think that's kind of a nice charity to do if you had.
We've tried to work with a lot of the veterans groups as well as a lot of the refugee groups and stuff. A lot of it is timing, right? So we get a house on a Thursday, we need to get it cleaned out by the weekend so we can get our contractors in there by Monday. If they're not ready to take the stuff during that window of time, we have to do something with it.
Right.
And we can't be working around it just because there's so much, there's so much of it. I mean, beds take up a lot in bedrooms and, obviously couches and china cabinets with 6, kitchen tables or dining room tables with 6 chairs like you've got, that
Right.
sort of thing.
Right.
We need to move that stuff around. And if we know they're going to get it, sometimes we can pile it in the garage. But if the garage is full, there's no place to put it. So a lot of it is timing. And again, if they don't have a place to put it, like a warehouse or something,
Plus, you
they
can't.
don't want to
Yeah,
take it.
like I say, you can't be driving it all over the place either.
Well, they got to have trucks too to
Yeah.
move some of this stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the logistics of it is an issue, and it's not just an issue here; it's an issue nationwide. Because with Mom's House, everyone has this problem, and everyone's trying to solve the same thing, and no one's really come up with a great idea. So if someone's looking for a gazillion-dollar idea and can figure out the logistics of doing stuff with this, I mean, there you go. Have at it. We'd love to help. Whatever we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting, though. I mean, I bet you've seen a lot over your years of just doing all the with these houses and the cleanouts, and.
Yeah,
But I like that you are doing more for the seniors, the transition part of it, than just selling it and well, nice, get out. At least you're trying to help them
Correct.
move to where they are going to next.
And that's the focus. It really, and quite frankly, it's our again, as being part of Mom's House nationwide, is have that focus. Really to be a help, be an assistant. I mean, anyone can sell a house. I mean, there's plenty of agents out there who'll do that for you.
Right.
But to actually get from A to B and not make it it's life changing. It is. I mean, it's the largest transaction most people will do in their lives.
Right.
That's stressful enough, and then you add on all these other compounding factors. Maybe you've got a dramatic medical intervention. Or maybe it's just a factor of, I can't take care of this house anymore. It's too expensive. Taxes are going up. Utilities are going up. It's too big of a house. It's one person. I always say it's like a penny in a coffee can, right? You're rattling around in this big place. What do you need it for?
Right.
So we're trying to make that as simple and as easy and stress-free as possible. And if we can help, we're happy to do it. And we've been very successful in doing it. And it's maybe not for everyone. You might go through the process with us and say, yeah, you know what, this is really not what I want to do. No problem. We've been doing it a long time. We'll continue to do it, and we're happy to. We'll be here if you change your mind.
Right.
Really.
So, King Homes, and what's your number again?
630-699-0677.
Okay.
And we got a website. It's sellmyhomeil.com.
Sellmyhomeil.com.
Like Illinois,
Yep.
sellmyhomeil.com. You can always reach us there.
Okay.
Either one.
Okay, I like
Pretty
it.
simple.
And it's up on the YouTube page, too. The phone number is. It's 630-699-0677.
That's me.
There you go.
That's Nick. Okay.
For Nick, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. And Nick's, he's semi-local here, too, so.
Yeah, we cover Wisconsin to Indiana, the lake to Rockford.
Oh.
So we go to 8 counties. So if you've got a home, and it's everything from condos, townhomes, single family, multifamily. We don't do commercial. We don't do any, that. We're strictly residential. So we're happy to help. I mean, and we'll look at anything. There's nothing that is. We've looked at some pretty large homes and some pretty small homes, and all conditions.
So nothing's too small.
Nothing is out of the realm of possibility. Don't be afraid to talk to us.
Yeah, well, it doesn't hurt to ask if you had a question, or if you know somebody that could use your service. Just pass it along to them, and it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah,
You're under no obligation at all.
And we can provide references. We obviously, we've got plenty of people that we've dealt with in the senior community, and if you want to talk to someone to help, we're happy to.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Cherie, for another great show. Thanks, Nick, for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Good information.
Appreciate it.
Cherie Senior Showcase will be available on YouTube.
What's the best way to get rid of a timeshare that you don't want? Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline. We're a group of attorneys that help customers